Assalamu alaikum everyone. Once again, I welcome you all present here to my YouTube channel, that is Nawab Kiazai. Nawabkiazai. As you know that we have started a series of tenses, and this is the fifth video of tenses. So in today's video, in today's lesson, we are going to learn about present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. So now if we talk about another thing, that is, along with tenses, we have started another part of you can say grammar, that is active voice and passive voice. In today's video, we are not going to learn active voice, passive voice, but we are going to learn only the tenses. Why? Because active voice and passive voice does not suit in such sentences. That's why we haven't included it for today's session, or for today's lesson. Now let's know why active voice, passive voice doesn't suit in such sentences. Because in such sentences like past perfect continuous or present perfect continuous, two forms of verb be are used. Two forms of verb be are used. That's why it seems to be a little bit awkward, or you can say strange. That's why we do not use active voice in passive voice in such sentences. Although it is available, but it is, we can say, hardly used, or you can say maybe rarely used, not commonly used. Okay, so that's why we have not included. Like, for example, if I talk about past perfect continuous, that why we do not use you can say active voice and passive voice. Let's get you an example. That is, English had been being spoken. Now you see, English had been being, two B's there, been being. In if we talk about present perfect continuous, so the same case applies here too. Like, English has been being, or English have been being. And the same thing applies to future perfect continuous. Like, English will have been being. Understood? Another problem with future continuous also. Like, English will be being. Again, problem. English will be being. In future continuous, in future continuous it is, in future continuous it is English will be being. But in future perfect continuous, it is English will have been being. Understood? So that's why such sentences seem to be, you can say, awkward or awful or weird. That's why we do not use active voice and passive voice in such sentences. Otherwise, active voice, passive voice is used everywhere, in every part of the text. Understood? So now let's know a little bit what present perfect continuous is. Present perfect continuous is an action that has been started in past and still it is going on and heading towards the future. This is called present perfect continuous. Now, if you do something yearly, means every year something happens, like performing Hajj. We Muslims perform Hajj every year. So every year you have been doing something until now, you haven't stopped in the middle, then that is present perfect continuous. When something is, I can say, monthly done, or we can say something happens monthly, and you haven't stopped doing that action until now, that is present perfect continuous. Like collecting your salary, okay? Because salary is given, or salary is paid every month. You can say monthly. So this way. Now, if something happens or if you do something weekly, okay, means anything, any work that happens every week and you haven't stopped in the middle, means you have been always doing that, or you have been, I can say, like Friday prayer for Muslims. We offer Friday prayer, okay, Juma prayer. So if you haven't stopped offering prayer every Friday, then it is present perfect continuous. Understood? And if something is done on daily basis, like you can say a Fajr prayer, morning prayer, our we Muslims offer, early in the morning, a prayer that's called Fajr prayer. So you have been offering Fajr prayer every morning and you haven't stopped in the middle. Okay, so that is called present perfect continuous. Now, if something is done hourly, means every hour something is done and you haven't stopped, you can say, that action in the middle until now and heading towards the future, then it is present perfect continuous. In every minute you have been doing something and you haven't stopped in the middle, then that is present perfect continuous. When something is done, you can say, in every second and you haven't stopped in the middle until now and heading towards the future, that is present perfect continuous. Understood? A present perfect continuous is an action that has been started in past and continuing towards the present, then it is heading towards the future. This is called present perfect continuous tense. Understood? Now, if we talk about the formula of present perfect continuous, so now you see the formula of present perfect continuous. First of all, your subject, your helping verb like has been, have been, and why has been, why have been. Have been is for plural subjects, has been is for singular subjects. Understood? And after that, your main verb, I mean first form of the verb with ing. Understood? Then your object. Your sentence is complete here. Understood? And here I would like to tell you one thing, that you cannot use state verbs in such sentences, I mean continuous sentences, whether it is present continuous, past continuous or future continuous, and whether it is past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous or future continuous. You cannot use state verbs in continuous sentences. Okay, so now let's know a little bit what a state verb is. You see, there are two main, you can say, branches. You can say bigger branches of the verb. One is action verb, one is state verb. Action verb is state verb. Action verbs are those verbs, you can say, which are connected to your body. You can say your physical movement. You see, now I am here in front of you. I'm, you can say, teaching, and I am speaking. You can see my lips are moving and my mouth is moving. My hands are moving. So this is called action verb. State verbs are those verbs which are connected to the mind. They have nothing to do with your physical movement. Understood? Like want, wish, love, hate, like, dislike. These all are state verbs. Okay? Means you cannot say I have been liking her for 2 years, or I have been disliking her, or I was hating her, I was loving her, I was liking her, I am liking her. Say I am loving him, I am hating him. Not only her, him. You can put any object. So remember this, that you cannot use such sentences in continuous tenses, whether that is present continuous, perfect continuous, or only continuous. I mean past continuous, present continuous, future continuous. Understood? You cannot use state verbs. You cannot say I am liking him, I am loving him, my brother, okay, or I am hating him, or I am you can say wanting him. No, 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 no. These are not you can say used in such sentences. Okay, but rather you should say I love him, my brother. I love him. I like him. You can say I want him. I wish him a good future. Or you can say yeah, I don't hate him. Understood? So you can use such verbs in, you can say, simple tenses. Whether it should be past simple or present simple, or you can say maybe future simple. Okay? And here I would like to give you one thing that you can see I have written here, you can say we have written the versions of the sentence. You can see positive, negative, interrogative, interrogative, negative. Now these are the versions of the sentence, not those kinds that you can say affirmative, optative, or you can say interrogative, or imperative, many more, 5 kinds of sentences. I'm not talking about those kinds, but here I am talking the versions of the sentence. How versions of the sentence? Subject is the same, verb is the same, object is the same, but still there are some changes in the sentences. So those are called versions of the sentences, like positive sentence, negative sentence, interrogative sentence, interrogative negative sentence. Understood? And the last thing is since and for. So that thing we will discuss at the end of the session, at the end of the video. Okay, so now let's go to the examples. First of all, look at the positive sentence. Positive sentence. You see, as I told you before that have been for plural subjects like I, you, we, they. I is not included here, but I takes this helping verb. That's why I has been included. But otherwise, I is the first person. Okay, you, we, they. Okay, the second person plural. Okay, now this is third person singular. He, she, it. One name Ali. Okay, for plural subjects have been. For singular subjects has been. Okay, but as I have written them on the board. You cannot write them like this. Do not write them because now here each subject needs a sentence, a complete sentence. Okay, this one needs a complete sentence. This one also 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 needs a complete sentence. Okay, now I will read them for you. You will understand them very well. Okay, let's go and read them. I have been learning English. You have been learning English. We have been learning English. They have been learning English. Understood? Now this was plural subject, plural verb. Now this is singular subject, singular verb. He has been learning English. She has been learning English. It has been learning English. Ali has been learning English. Okay? Now this was your positive sentence. Now let's go to the negative sentence. Now look at the negative sentence. I have not. Now this is the specialty of the negative sentence, that it takes not in the middle. You can say in between these two words. Have been or has been. You have to say have, then not, then been. Again you have to say has, then not, then been. Okay? This is a sign of a negative sentence. Okay, now let's read them. I have not. Now have not has a problem that we always use, and we have been using I can say the short form of have not. So that's why it cannot come in our mouth very well. Means we cannot easily say have not, but rather we can say haven't. Okay, so if you allow me, please, I should read like that. As I want. I haven't been learning English. You haven't been learning English. We haven't been learning English. They haven't been learning English. Understood? And the same case applies here with the singular subject and singular verb. He hasn't been learning English. She hasn't been learning English. It hasn't been learning English. Ali hasn't been learning English. Understood? Now let's go to the interactive sentences. Interactive sentence. Again, this you can say, see, have comes in the beginning. Interrogative has you can say a very special sign that in interactive sentences your helping verb comes at the beginning and then your subject. Okay, then after that you can say been, this one, then your main verb with ing form, then your object. Understood? You see, have, I, you, like this, has, he, she. This is a sign of interrogative sentence. And the second sign is this, that interrogative sentences take question marks with them. Okay, question marks with them. And these sentences like positive and negative, they take full stops with them. You see, full stops here, here, and here, here. Okay, but here these are what? Question marks. Understood? Now let's read the example. Have I been learning English? Have you been learning English? Have we been learning English? Have they been learning English? Okay. Now let's go to the second part. That is, singular subject, singular verb. Has he been learning English? Has she been learning English? Has it been learning English? Has Ali been learning English? I mean one name. Okay. As you can say third person singular. Now look at the last one. That is interrogative negative. Interrogative negative. Now in interrogative sentences, we use only have, has at the beginning. But here in interrogative negative sentences, we use helping verb. Along with helping verb, we use not. Okay, like have not, has not. But the same case applies here. As I said before, that I cannot say have not or has not, but rather I can say hasn't, haven't. Okay, so if you allow me, please. Haven't I been learning English? Haven't you been learning English? Haven't we been learning English? Haven't they been learning English? Understood? Now this is the plural subject and plural verb. Let's go to the singular subject and singular verb. Hasn't he been learning English? Hasn't she been learning English? Hasn't it been learning English? Hasn't Ali been learning English? Okay. So now this was your present perfect continuous. So now let's talk a little bit about since and for. As I said before at the beginning, in the beginning of the video, that we would discuss them. At the end of the video, you can say, at the end of the lesson. So here it is, that where we use since and where we use for. So when you want to mention the beginning of that action, I mean present perfect continuous, the action that has you can say started, okay, that time you want to mention only that time, the beginning point, then you'll have to use since. Like me, understood? I have been teaching since 2011. I have been teaching since 2011. Now here I only used, or you can say I only mentioned the beginning point of my career, okay, of my teaching. I said I have been teaching since 2011. Okay. Now if I count, I can say the years in the middle, or the months in the middle, or the days, okay, then I would use for. The main sign of using for is this, that wherever you see in a sentence, or wherever you write in a sentence that 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to write for. Not only 4, but 5, 6, 7, even 100. I mean, then you'll have to use for. How? Now I have been teaching, I can say, since 2011. If I count the years in the middle, so until now, up to, you can say, 2026. So these all years become 16 years. Now what will I say? I would say I have been teaching for 16 years. You see, I counted the years in the middle. That's why I said 4. If I don't count the years in the middle, then except I only can say mention the beginning point, then I use since. Like, I have been teaching since 2011. This is since. Now you see 4. I have been teaching for 16 years. This is 4. Understood? Very simple, very easy. Simply you can say, when you mention the years, the months, the days, the hours, the weeks in the middle, then you have to use 4. But when you only mention the beginning point of an action, then you have to use since. Understood? So I hope you have understood the concept of today's lesson. If we are alive, we will meet in a new video with a new grammatical point. So till then, stay with us.